I recently got the question of asking, hey Neon, what is the most underrated weapon in Delta Force so far? There's a lot of good guns in this game, what just obviously don't take the crown, as there is phenomenal weapons in this game. But the Vityaz submachine gun is my underrated weapon. What's up troopers, my name's Neon and welcome to a brand new video. We're talking about an underrated weapon, as I know you guys have been constantly asking about this. It seems like I'm being showing off so many of these best setups, and you guys are just like, hey, I get it, these guns are absolutely amazing, they can just dominate, but I also want to put myself into more of a challenge, and that's why I feel like the Vityaz is the weapon of your choice, because it is an overpowered weapon, but it also isn't underpowered either. It's like the perfect balance. You will find this submachine gun in the support class. Of course, you can go and pick what operator you want to get, but these are currently the stats what I'm rocking so far. Control at 68, very close. Handling at 59, with stability at 49, with the accuracy of 83. For an SMG, that is perfect to have of high accuracy. 83 is perfect. With the rate of fire of 700 rounds per minute was really nice, and the maximum bullets you can have with this gun is 45. This weapon is perfect as it is because it has a great muzzle velocity as well. When I use it, you can tell it's an SMG, but then sometimes I feel like it's an AR. It honestly reminds me like the AKS-74, just a higher rate of fire. When it comes to using this weapon, I prefer using it at close range to medium range. That is going to be your sweet spot for this weapon. It is an SMG, so please don't get yourself carried away when it comes to them longer distances, because let's be real, you're just out of your mind trying to use an SMG as a longer range weapon. It isn't something what can always be done, so just consider that, because that's a price you're going to pay if you try to go for long distances. I feel like medium range is perfect, and close range you're going to do absolutely fine. The only one thing I do notice when it comes to using this weapon is if there is any other SMGs with an insane rate of fire like the Vector, yes, there is a high chance you are going to lose a gunfight because the rate of fire is just going to dominate a weapon like this. So please keep that in mind when you do use a weapon like this. And that's what I'm saying, troopers. That's why it's an underrated weapon, because with an underrated weapon, it isn't a great weapon, but it also isn't the best weapon in the world. It has a pros and cons, what works and doesn't work, but still can give you a great balanced performance. It means when you use this weapon, you're going to have no problem with it, as it's going to be much more easier to adapt and adjustable to get used to this weapon. How do I even build this weapon? What do you even start with when you work on a weapon anyway? I always say go for the barrel side. The barrel is the number one thing you need to start off with first, and I actually go with the tactical barrel. The tactical barrel is the most important one because there is two barrels what you can be using, but the reason why I say you need to be using the tactical barrel is because of the high handling. That is going to be extremely important for a weapon like this. And when it comes to calibrating, I put everything on the far right side for increasing the muzzle velocity and firing stability. But this is a personal preference, and you can change it around if you want to, especially if you want to increase ADS speed or ADS movement speed. But you might have to calibrate that on other calibrations because muzzle velocity and firing stability are really important. Once you've done that, you're going to go and add all your rails as control. Please use the charge and handle. It will increase the handling for the weapon. And now we're going to be talking about the most important thing, and that is the muzzle side. This is really important, so please pay attention. With a weapon like this, it has extremely wiggle when it comes to its recoil pattern, and we need to straighten that up. So we're going to be using the horizontal compensator. This is going to be perfect as it will straighten the recoil pattern, but it will increase the kick. But please listen very carefully, because we're going to be tweaking with this and improving the high kick of it. But make sure you're using a horizontal compensator, and if you don't want to be using that, then use the SMG suppressor. And the reason why I say you should be using something like this is because this is going to be changing the entire gameplay, your gameplay of medium ranges, because you're going to be increasing the range and the muzzle velocity with control, and as it's a suppressor, you're going to be reduced from the minimap. So a personal preference on that side, horizontal compensator and an SMG suppressor. As we was talking about the muzzle side, we're going to be using a combat grip on the foregrip side, because now we are using a horizontal compensator, I have more of a kick. I need to reduce it, and the combat grip is actually going to reduce the horizontal and the vertical, and that is exactly what we need. Getting more horizontal is perfect, that's a win-win, but getting control is what we need. Reduce the weapon so it can be easier to control. With this weapon, I honestly thought there was going to be more bullets for this gun, like more magazines. Well, there isn't. There's only one magazine you could be using, and that's the 45 round extended magazine. If you haven't already, leave a like on this video, would really appreciate it. Let's go and shoot for 100 likes. We can easily do that, I guarantee it. And if you're new to the channel, then subscribe, because this is the perfect time to be subbed to the channel, as you won't be missing out on any content. And if you guys do want any build codes, then feel free to join my Discord server, as I'm going to have every single weapon code in the game. There's a lot of rare grips you can be using in this game. I personally would say the AK heavy grip is the perfect choice, because if you do select that, you go and get yourself a grip mount, and I go and use the stable grip base, as that will increase a huge amount of stability. Very important for an SMG. For my stock, I'm using the AK polymer stock, a perfect benefit when it comes to control, handling, stability, and even accuracy. Then I go and use the stock pad. When it comes to calibrating the weapon, make sure you're working around with it a perfect way. The reason why I say you need to be focusing on it a lot is because you need to be looking at your ADS speed and your ADS movement speed, but also not taking away too much of it, but also not adding too much of it as well. I get it, that can be really confusing, but you need to focus on that, because when you tweak around with some of these ADS speed, you're also tweaking around with your extra control. And personally for me, I'm going for full control, but if there is certain stuff like stability while moving, you can tweak with that and add more ADS speed, or maybe even more ADS movement speed. But I would personally say, if it comes to calibrating stuff, if you are struggling from ADS speed or extra control, then just go and put it into the middle of the calibrations. Now I want you troopers to let me know in the comment section below, is this the most underrated gun in the game, or is there other underrated guns in the game? Because I might not be right here, I could be completely wrong. Maybe you troopers are right, what is the most underrated weapon in the game, as there's just so many weapons in this game. Everyone's got their own personal preference, but I do really want you guys to give it a go and just tell me what you think about it. Just let me know in the comment section. Give it a go, troopers. Use the Vityaz SMG, and I hope, actually no, let's scrap that. It's not I hope, I guarantee you, you will kick some ass with this gun.